We demand that the Kenya police arrest any person involved in electoral fraud and fast-track investigations, and that those found culpable are convicted. It's time that we have accountability for continual electoral malpractice in this country. People must go to jail if they are found guilty of electoral offenses. But we urge continuous caution by the media, local and international, while reporting on results which are under review and verification of results is ongoing. So we're calling on international and local media to be responsible and cautious in its reporting and not arouse undue anxiety and confusion amongst Kenyans. We also note with concern that the returning officer for Embakasi East constituency was reported missing since August 11th, 2022. And we at the Angaza Movement remain hopeful that he will be found and reunited with his family. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gladwell. That is our statement. Is there any question, any clarification that you would like to seek?
Who are these people who are these national observers that you say have been blocked from entering to the borders of Kenya? And all these cases that you're citing, if they are not addressed, what will be their next course of action? Will you as Angaza probably think of going to court, or are these discrepancies big enough to cause any alteration in the findings?
Okay, maybe you say George, no? Yes.
You say that the political actors who are planning to announce themselves, maybe you can shed light on this.
Okay. And maybe your name?
Oh, my name is Kennedy.
Okay. Is there another?
Okay, as an observer, yes, sure.
So let's respond to those two.
So with regards to the question about observers, I'm one of them. And my colleague here from Crown Trust is also one of them. And we are a number who have been camping outside there. So this process has been left to the security apparatus. Basically, that's what is happening. It has been completely securitized. And this is unfortunate, where we are treating elections as a security as opposed to political problem. So out there, they are not allowing local observers. That is the fact of the matter. And then when you ask them questions, they refer you to security officers who take you through cycles, and so that's one of the issues we want to raise. But for international observers, you can clearly see they are just coming with their vehicles and they are just allowed in without any questions being asked to them. Yeah, so I think that is the situation right now, which is completely discriminatory. Yeah, so we are demanding that the IBC allows local observers, domestic observers to be allowed in, because we understand our electoral context much better, and we are also in a better position to raise the emerging issues because we have a better understanding of our country.
Okay, there were a couple of questions. One of them was what I said were the rumors of political actors having certain intentions. Now, a lot of rumors, obviously, are flying around at a time like this. So without being able to confirm them, we're not going to name names or give particulars. What we're saying to all the political actors is to act in a responsible manner and not try to anticipate the role of the IEBC chairman.
My question is on the age discrepancy
Yes.
that you mentioned, and what the next step is if the IEBC is not addressing them, and have you probably raised them with the aim of seeking clarification, and if not, we look at Angaza Movement moving to court to probably say that these discrepancies were never addressed?
We should say that these people we've listed here have been arrested. Therefore, matters are in course. But it's of great concern that these people who have been arrested are officials of the IEBC. Therefore, the IEBC has not come out to tell us what is going on. They must be transparent about what is going on and what is going on with their staff, because this directly undermines confidence in the results that are being announced by the IEBC if we're hearing that their own personnel, returning officers, presiding officers, deputy presiding officers, are among other things, colluding with external agents to subvert the results of the election.
And just to add, this was just an example. There's a big list we are compiling, even for the ones who messed up with elections at different levels. For example, where elections were cancelled, people have to be held responsible, for example, over procurement. So this time around, we are going to be exploring private prosecution, because people have to be privately held to account over these electoral offences. So this is the level to which we want to take this conversation, so that in the future, no one will think about messing up with our elections again. Because we have seen from 2017, there was a lot of mess and there was no one held to account. So we are going to follow these issues up to the end.
So then can we say that the Chief Deputy decides to announce the presidential winner with this evening tomorrow morning? It's an unlawful exercise, looking at the flow just mentioned.
Yeah.
Thank you. The IEBC is mandated by law to announce the results at least 7 days after the close of polling. So they will be operating within the law. But we are saying we've noted significant issues with the elections. And the only way to determine whether they meet the threshold for an illegality or for the elections to be so compromised as not to be free and fair is a legal question. And this is something that we will seek, like Davis has said, adjudication in the courts, both when we are seeking to prosecute the individual people and also the institutions that are responsible for it. Okay? So it is within the law to announce. Actually, Kenyans are anxious, waiting for it to be announced. And the determination of the legality of that election, therefore, is something that will be adjudicated by the courts.
So, Kariuki from Africa Live, as we draw our caution to international media and local media, there's one media we are forgetting called social media. What is your concern about what is happening on social media?
In our statement that we issued the day before yesterday, we cited that there have been more than 74 cases of misreporting that have been already identified and flagged. And social media has got two aspects. One, there is the aspect of citizens. And we ask that citizens exercise responsibility. Because, you know, the access to social media is also from individuals. That's number one. And number two, that the social media platforms should actively flag and remove from their platforms posts that are being used, you know, to give false information or to whip any emotions among citizens. Because the exercise of social media responsibility must be from those two, the individual person and the platform. Yes. And that is our position, because once social media is used, it is spreading also information very quickly. So it's the responsibility of the platforms and the individuals. Yes.
And then there is the security concern, because the IEBC is a body that is not involved in any security matters. But when politicians misbehave, how else would you expect the IEBC to behave or to act towards that? Because they need peace at the tallying center, and how else would they behave if they don't make it a security operation?
Actually, our statement here, we have said that political actors from whichever side should not be allowed to interfere with the process or to pretend to say who has won and who has not won. That's what we have said in the statement, that it is the responsibility of IEBC to do that. Okay? So keeping political actors out who are interfering with the work of IBC and who have no particular role in the electoral process will help us, finish this the counting and tallying quickly. But the question where Kenyan observers are not allowed to observe the process, because observers are not political actors. They are observers, and there is a law which says observers should be allowed. By saying observers should not be allowed, IEBC is breaking the law. Yeah.
Just to add on that issue of security, normally within the Codex of Election, any security deployment within the space managed by IBC is supposed to be accounting to the IBC system around. So we are seeing a situation whereby the security now is taking charge of every environment. And you also saw that in a number of polling stations, where even actually I witnessed a situation whereby it is security officers who ask you the first question about where are you going. Actually, like observers, the biggest problem, the major limitation we are getting when we are getting into many polling stations was that security officers were standing on all the doors, while that is the work of the presiding officers. So that's basically what we are saying. In this codex, you can see also, we have seen paramilitary police, we have seen the military itself, we have seen GSU coming. So you see, when you start doing that, you create tension and also suspicion. So I think what we want is a more nuanced approach to government of security and also elections. So there's a need, of course, for law and order. But this excessive deployment also causes a lot of suspicion. So that's what we are challenging. Because even the people who are stopping observers from getting in there are basically security officers. And then you are being asked, make a call inside, That's none of their business. They're supposed to be IBC officials out there giving people direction. Not police officers giving people direction. Yeah, elections are not managed by the police. This is completely unacceptable, and that's part of what we are challenging around this process.
Seems there's no other question?
Sorry, you want to say something?
It's okay. Say the thing.
Okay. Yeah. So, you need to close.
Okay. So, because there are no further questions, we thank you very much. We'll be convening you again once we have got new information that we need to share in this same space. But we have the press statement. You can get copies of it. Thank you.